Within hours of rising tensions in the Middle East, the United States military began one of its fastest deployment operations in recent years. Following major missile strikes, combat alert was raised across multiple branches of the U.S. military. Air Force units, Marine Corps forces, and fighter squadrons were placed on full readiness. Across several bases, activity increased rapidly as troops prepared for immediate deployment. Marines were transported from their barracks to nearby airfields, where large transport aircraft were already waiting. A massive C-17 Globemaster cargo aircraft stood on the runway with its rear ramp open. Marines quickly moved up the ramp and took their seats inside the cargo bay. Cargo crews loaded generators, ammunition crates, communications equipment, and medical supplies. Every piece of equipment was carefully secured for the long journey ahead. At nearby bases, armored vehicles and tactical trucks were also loaded into transport aircraft. These aircraft would carry troops and equipment toward military bases in the Middle East. Meanwhile, at another airfield, mechanics worked inside hangars, preparing fighter jets for possible combat missions. Every aircraft underwent a detailed inspection. Avionics systems were tested, radar equipment was checked, electrical panels were carefully examined. Missiles and guided bombs were mounted under the wings. Inside a large hangar, soldiers packed their bags and prepared for deployment. This was not a short mission, and no one knew exactly when they would return. As evening approached, soldiers formed lines and marched across the airfield toward their assigned aircraft. One by one, the transport planes taxied onto the runway and lifted into the night sky. Hours later, the aircraft arrived at military bases in the Middle East. As soon as they landed, unloading operations began. Troops stepped onto the runway while armored vehicles rolled down the aircraft ramp. Cargo pallets were quickly removed as crews worked at high speed. For the soldiers arriving here, this base would now become their temporary home. Across the airfield, maintenance crews worked around the clock preparing fighter jets. Fuel trucks moved from one aircraft to another, filling tanks with aviation fuel. Weapons crews mounted air-to-air missiles and guided bombs. By the time pilots arrived for their briefing, every aircraft on the runway was fueled, armed, and ready for combat.